Hello, everyone. Welcome to Celsius 233, your go-to place for fiction book summaries. Today, we will explore the depths of Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. Romeo and Juliet, written by William Shakespeare and first published in 1597, is one of the most famous tragedies in English literature. Set in the Italian city of Verona, the play tells the story of two star-crossed lovers from feuding noble families, the Montagues and the Capulets. Their ill-fated love, marred by miscommunication, family enmity, and tragic misunderstandings, ultimately leads to their untimely deaths. The play explores the intensity of youthful passion, the destructiveness of familial conflict, and the complexities of love and fate. It has become an enduring symbol of romantic tragedy, deeply ingrained in both literary history and popular culture. Plot summary. In the city of Verona, two powerful families, the Montagues and the Capulets, have been locked in a bitter feud for generations. Their hatred runs so deep that even their servants engage in public brawls, filling the streets with violence. It is during such a brawl, as swords clash and tempers flare, that Prince Escalus of Verona arrives, commanding the peace and warning that further bloodshed will be punishable by death. Amidst this enmity, young Romeo Montague is drowning in sorrow, but not for his family's ancient grudge. His heart is consumed by unrequited love for Rosaline, a woman who has sworn to live chaste. Seeking distraction, Romeo's friends, Mercutio and Benvolio, persuade him to attend a grand feast hosted by the Capulets, his family's sworn enemies. They go in disguise, hoping to enjoy the revelry unnoticed. As fate would have it, it is not Rosaline who captures Romeo's eye at the Capulet ball but Juliet, the daughter of Lord Capulet himself. Their eyes meet across the room, and in that instant they are ensnared by a powerful love. Oblivious to their family's bitter conflict, they speak, and their attraction blossoms into a shared passion. However, their joy is short-lived, as they soon discover the perilous truth: Romeo is a Montague, and Juliet is a Capulet. Despite the danger, Romeo cannot resist the pull of love. That same night, he slips into the Capulet orchard, drawn to Juliet's window. There, beneath the light of the moon, they confess their love, vowing to defy their families and be together. Juliet, radiant and resolute, asks Romeo to prove his love through action. If his intentions are true, they must marry in secret. Eager to seal their bond, Romeo seeks out Friar Lawrence, a well-meaning priest who agrees to marry them, hoping the union might reconcile the warring families. The next day, in the seclusion of the friar's cell, Romeo and Juliet are wed, but even as they are bound in love, the shadow of their family's hatred looms larger. Tybalt, Juliet's fiery cousin, has recognized Romeo's presence at the feast and burns with a desire for revenge. He seeks out Romeo in the streets of Verona, challenging him to a duel. Romeo, now married to Juliet, refuses to fight, trying to calm the situation. Mercutio, always quick with his sword and his wit, takes Romeo's place, mocking Tybalt and drawing his blade. The duel spirals out of control, and Mercutio is fatally wounded. With his dying breath, he curses both the Montagues and Capulets, laying the blame for his death at the feet of their senseless feud. Enraged by the loss of his dear friend, Romeo abandons his peaceful resolve. He turns on Tybalt, and in a fit of grief and anger, slays him. As Tybalt's blood stains the streets, Romeo realizes the gravity of his actions. His love for Juliet now lies entangled in the web of violence he sought to avoid. When the prince learns of the deaths, he shows no mercy. Romeo is banished from Verona, his punishment for Tybalt's murder. Desperate, Romeo seeks refuge with Friar Lawrence, devastated by the thought of being separated from Juliet. The friar, ever hopeful, devises a plan. Romeo will flee to Mantua, where he will wait in hiding until the time is right to reveal their marriage. Juliet, meanwhile, is left behind, her heart torn between loyalty to her family and her love for Romeo. As Romeo departs in secret, Lord Capulet, unaware of his daughter's marriage, arranges for Juliet to marry Count Paris, a suitor of noble standing. Juliet is horrified. With no other recourse, she rushes to Friar Lawrence for help. The friar, ever resourceful, offers her a dangerous solution: a sleeping potion that will make her appear dead for 42 hours. Once she is laid to rest in the Capulet tomb, the friar will send word to Romeo, who will return to rescue her, and together they will escape to a new life. With a heavy heart, Juliet agrees to the plan. On the eve of her wedding to Paris, she takes the potion and falls into a death-like sleep. The next morning, her family, believing her to be truly dead, is consumed with grief. They lay her body in the Capulet crypt, mourning the loss of their only daughter. But fate is cruel. The message meant for Romeo, explaining the friar's plan, never reaches him. Instead, Romeo's servant brings him terrible news: Juliet is dead. Overcome with despair, Romeo returns to Verona, resolved to join Juliet in death. Stopping only to procure poison from an apothecary, Romeo hurries to the Capulet tomb. There, he finds Paris mourning Juliet and, in his grief, kills him in a brief struggle. Finally, standing before Juliet's still form, Romeo takes the poison, bidding farewell to his love before collapsing by her side. Moments later, Juliet awakens from her deep sleep, only to find Romeo dead beside her. Grief-stricken, she tries to kiss the remaining poison from his lips, but finds it too late. With no other option, Juliet takes Romeo's dagger and plunges it into her heart, ending her life in the same tomb that now holds her beloved. When the friar and the city's watchmen arrive, they find the tragic scene. The deaths of Romeo and Juliet are too great a burden for the Capulets and Montagues to bear. Confronted with the senseless loss of their children, the two families finally lay down their arms, ending the feud that had claimed so many lives. As the dawn breaks over Verona, it is clear that the cost of hatred has been too high. In their death, Romeo and Juliet achieve what they could not in life: the reconciliation of their families. Yet their love, once bright with promise, now lies entombed in tragedy, a reminder of how deeply the forces of fate and enmity can shape the course of human lives. That's it for today, but if you're looking for more great reads, dive into other books by William Shakespeare. Details are in the description or on Celsius 233. Remember, while our summaries capture the essence, they can never replace the full experience of reading the book. If this summary intrigued you, consider diving into the complete story, buy the book, and immerse yourself in William Shakespeare's original work. Bye-bye, take care, have fun.